Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Important Arsenal star may head for exit door in January, pending Mikel Arteta decision. Thomas Partey has been a key figure in Arsenal's rise back to competing at the top of the Premier League, but the midfielder could leave the Gunners in January, pending a decision made by Mikel Arteta. The Ghana star missed Arsenal's 3-1 win over Man United last time out due to injury and is not expected to be back until at least October. If the 30-year-old returns and discovers he is no longer part of Arteta's best 11, he could leave the Gunners in January, reports Football Insider. Partey is said to be wary about losing his place despite starting every match prior to his injury. However, the midfielder has been used in an unfamiliar right back and Ben White returning to that position against Man United. That could be what worries the Ghanaian star. Partey was linked with a move to Juventus all summer, and that interest has not died down following the provisional suspension of Paul Pogba from football after the French star provided a positive drug test. That has left Maximiliano Allegri's side short in midfield, and they will likely make a move to add another player in January. The Ghana star will have 18 months remaining on his Arsenal contract from January, and if he is no longer a key part of Arteta's plans, it could be a great time to sell the 30-year-old for a significant fee. Tomiyasu admitted he lost confidence, but is now ready to fight for his place in the Arsenal team. Takahiro Tomiyasu believes that by believing in himself more, he can be a greater version of himself on the pitch for Arsenal. The Japanese international dazzled in his first season at Arsenal after joining from Bologna in 2021. He impressed playing at Arsenal's right back when he arrived and was happy to fight for his place. He would have continued his strong run there last season, but injuries and Ben White's performance made him take a step back. Fortunately, the 24-year-old has been in great shape this season and is available for selection. Though he hasn't played right back, he has played left back, where his versatility has been shown. He is not guaranteed a starting spot, but he believes that if he keeps believing in himself, he will be able to secure a spot in Arteta's starting 11. He said after a man of the match performance for Japan in the win over Turkey, I had to convince myself, or rather, I needed to give myself confidence. In that sense, I think it was an opportunity for me to regain my confidence. But with Arsenal, the football is different too. So if you ask me if I can do that at Arsenal, that's a different story. At Arsenal, too, we need to do our best to make sure we have enough players. He has not been able to find a regular position at Arsenal, but given this performance, why shouldn't he get a chance soon in cup games at least? He added, my days at Arsenal are really demanding, so if you ask me if I am going to fully regain my confidence yet, I can't say 100% yes. In that sense, I really feel like I'm doing well at Arsenal. I just need to be confident that I am there. He played an active role that erased the frustration he had with his being left out of the Japan national team, but not yet at his club due to his repeated injuries, he said. Of course, there were times when I lost confidence. Pundit says Martin Odegaard could dominate the Premier League for a decade now. Arsenal have a scary amount of young talent on their hands at the moment, the likes of Gabriel Martinelli, William Saliba, and of course Bukayo Saka are all absolutely incredible for their ages, but one man who gets overlooked in this conversation sometimes is Martin Odegaard. Perhaps it's due to how mature he is or because of how long he's been in the public eye, but it's easy to forget just how young Odegaard is. The 24-year-old is still only a young player, and speaking on Premier League productions, Clinton Morrison has predicted that the Norwegian could be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League for the next 10 years. Morrison spoke incredibly highly on the £30 million player. He said, there are loads, Bernardo Silva, but I will tell you one who was brilliant. Martin Odegaard was brilliant for Norway. He is brilliant, yeah, he is a top player. he could be one of the best around in the midfield for the next 10 years in the Premier League. It's not just frightening to think what Odegaard can do over the next 10 years, it's scary to imagine how good this entire Arsenal side can become over that period. The Gunners have so many good young players at the moment, and if they just continue to get better and better, they will be one of the very best teams we have ever seen. This Arsenal team could go on to become something very special. Arteta says Declan Rice is finding it really easy to fit in at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta was looking to add another midfield engine to his squad in 2023. His thirst could only be satisfied by a £105 million move for Declan Rice 4 match days into the 23-24 Premier League season. The deal for the former West Ham man is proving worthwhile. Arteta can't stop gushing about how fantastic his number 41 has been since joining his project, moving from the London Stadium to the Emirates in the summer. The 24-year-old has seamlessly integrated into Arsenal's midfield as if he were the missing piece of their midfield puzzle. Without Thomas Partey, Arsenal's central midfield would struggle. That has changed as Rice has added a new dynamic to Arsenal's central midfield. Even though Partey is sidelined with an injury, the Arsenal midfield is now in capable hands. He's been at the heart of everything good the Gunners have done, and his goal against Manchester United just added to his superb start to life as a Gunner. Mikel Arteta believes the Englishman is enjoying his time at Arsenal, which is critical to his team's aspirations this season. The 24-year-old is a complete midfielder who can defend and attack. As Arteta said about Rice settling in on Arsenal.com, yeah, so obviously you always hope that the transition is going to be smooth and fast, but then sometimes the reality is very different. In this case, I think it's been really positive. I think he is finding it really easy. I think he understood the team and our way of playing really fast, and things are going well for him. He is also a powerful leader with a commanding presence on the pitch. Arsenal's title defense last season needed something unique. I don't know about you, but I believe Declan Rice could be that missing ingredient to take us to another level. Kivior sends a message to Arteta about his best position. Jakub Kivior has conveyed a message to Mikel Arteta regarding his preferred position with the team as the manager tinkers with his lineup selections. Arsenal has implemented alterations to their system this season, and injuries have necessitated some adjustment. Kivior, originally recruited as a centre-back, has been deployed at left-back in at least one match during the current campaign. Kivior's versatility has proven to be beneficial for the team, offering more options and opportunities for players to feature. While he has adapted well to playing wherever his manager assigns him, he recently shared insights into his favorite position within the team during a recent interview. Kivior told Sky Sports, as quoted by Football London, the following: I still think that my favorite position is centre-back. However, it's the coach who decides where I will play before the match. I know that. So now, it's not that important for me where I play, it's the coach who decides. We have excellent players here. The competition is very high. I am happy that I am able to compete with such good players, and even if I am not selected to go in the starting lineup, I am trying my best. I am happy. I don't perceive that as something bad. Mikel Arteta says it just never worked out for phenomenal player at Arsenal. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has addressed Nicolas Pepe's departure from the Emirates in his press conference this week. The Ivorian terminated his contract at Arsenal and left the club during the international break. He has now moved to Turkey, where he is set for a new adventure at Trabzonspor. Arsenal signed Nicolas Pepe for a then club record fee of £72 million in 2019. The Ivory Coast international moved to the Emirates on the back of a truly spectacular season at Lille, where he scored 23 goals and provided 12 assists in all competitions. Arsenal hoped he would join Alexander Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to form the deadliest strike force in the league, but it just never happened for Pepe. He showed flashes of brilliance, but he could not do it consistently. Mikel Arteta decided it was time to part ways, and that was done this week. The Arsenal boss has now claimed that it just didn't work for Pepe, and when that happens, there is no point continuing to persist with him. He said, as per Arsenal.com, "What I can say about him as a person is that he is a phenomenal boy. He tried really hard. It's not his fault, the amount of money that we paid at the time, and that's it. When things are not working, you have to move on. There is no point trying when something is not working, and that decision has been made, and I think it benefits all parties." Moving on was the best thing for all parties involved. Pepe is a fantastic talent. When he is in full flow, he is nearly impossible to stop, but for several factors, he just couldn't do that on a consistent basis at the Emirates. We are sure Arsenal fans will wish Pepe well as he embarks on a new adventure in Turkey. Arsenal coaches seriously impressed with £32 million player in training ahead of Everton match. Arsenal star Alexander Zinchenko impressed his coaches in training ahead of their match against Everton today. In a video shared by the club on their website, the first team can be seen preparing for their visit to Goodison Park. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta will be getting his side ready for their schedule to start ramping up now. After an unbeaten start to the season, their European campaign gets going on Wednesday. It means his squad will need to be fighting fit, and every player will need to be ready to play on every occasion. Arteta has already had to deal with several injuries, with the new signing Julian Timber and Thomas Partey already ruled out. Gabriel Jesus is now fit again, and it will be interesting to see if he starts this afternoon. Another Arsenal player who has been in full training for several weeks after his injury problems is Alexander Zinchenko. The £32 million defender is essential to the way Arteta's side play. In the video shared by the club, the squad can be seen playing a possession game in a small space. Two teams are aiming to keep the ball away from the opposition with quick passing and movement. There are two players wearing bibs who float between both teams in the center of the space. One of those players is Zenchenko, and it's easy to see why, with the Ukrainian able to find his teammates with ease under pressure. At one point, he plays several pinpoint passes under pressure, and one Arsenal coach can be heard shouting, "Bravo, Alex," while another applauds his efforts. Although Zinchenko's position on the team sheet is at left back, he tends to spend a lot of time in midfield. Working on playing that role in training makes a lot of sense for Zinchenko, with Arsenal expected to have a lot of the ball today. Arsenal now battling Manchester United and the club to sign a special international midfielder. Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool are among the clubs looking to complete the signing of exciting young midfielder Oscar Gluch. The Israel international has impressed in recent months, and it looks like he could be the next player to leave RB Salzburg for bigger and better things. And according to The Sun, Arsenal and Manchester United, as well as Liverpool, are looking to sign Gluch. According to The Sun, clubs including Arsenal and United sent scouts to watch Gluch during the international break. The 19-year-old rewarded the journey those scouts made as well by scoring for his country as he continued to show his potential and quality. After impressing at Salzburg since making a £6 million move to the club, the next step for Gluch will be to make a move to one of the big clubs in Europe. Tottenham have previously shown interest in Gluch as well in the summer. The special attacking midfielder could well end up following a similar path to that of Dominic Szoboszlai at Liverpool. There are some fine young players emerging in Europe at the moment, and Oscar Gluch very much seems to be a name on the radars of a number of top clubs. Quality attacking midfield players can often be at a premium, and Gluch does seem to have something about him in that sense. It's easy then to see why Arsenal and United want to sign him. Quite who wins the race for Gluch remains open to opinion, but come January, expect the Israeli to be a name being linked with a number of clubs. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.